Hey guys, this is Mrs. Langeman. I am about to go over the concept development, page 14 in your Think Up book. This is also Unit 2. So in this unit we're still talking about multiplicative comparison. However, we are looking at multiplicative comparison in word problems, okay? So if you look at represent the problem with a model, okay? Ryan took 4 pictures on the field trip. Ellen took 3 times as many pictures as Ryan. How many pictures did Ellen take? Okay. I want you to use cubes when you are doing this, okay? So the first thing cube says is to circle key numbers. So I would circle 4 pictures. I would circle 3 times. Okay, and when I circle this, I like to write it up here like this above the word with the times above it, because that, I'm not sure if you can see that, 3 times. And then cubes also tells you to underline the question. Okay, so the question says, how many pictures did Ellen take? You're going to box in any action words or clue words. That would be something that would help you solve this problem or know what operation to use. Definitely the word times is something that needs to be boxed in. Okay, I think as many definitely helps you. That phrase together, as many times as many, will definitely help you as well. E means evaluate and draw a picture. I also like to tell my students to analyze. Like, put your pencil down and think about what is actually going on here. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is kind of tell me a little bit about what you know so far. You know that we're talking about somebody named Ryan. You know that we're talking about somebody named Ellen. Okay. And we know that Ryan has 4 pictures. It clearly says that. Okay. And it says Ellen took 3 times as many. Did Ellen take more or less? Well, hopefully you can tell me that Ellen took more pictures. And how many times more? She took 3 times more pictures. This right here is actually called a take diagram, okay? And so it talks about Ryan's 4 pictures and Ellen's pictures, and she did 3 times that amount. So here's 1 times, this is 2 times, 3 times the amount of Ryan's pictures, okay? And S in cubes means to solve, okay? So we are going to solve our equation. We've got 4 times 3, which is 12. Therefore, Ellen took 12 pictures. Okay, so I do want you to see that this problem says the model shows the 4 pictures that Ryan took right here. Since Ellen took 3 times as many pictures as Ryan, there's Ellen's. There are 3 groups of 4 in the row for Ellen's pictures. 3 times 4 equals 12, therefore Ellen took 12 pictures. Okay, I want you to look at this problem right here, and we're going to try it together. Okay, it says use this problem to answer the questions 1 and 2. Okay, now remember that this side of the page was talking about a model. Okay, so we're going to make sure that we know how to draw a model. Okay, Tegan earned $2 doing chores last month. This month, she earned, so I'm going to cube this as I'm talking, $2 each month, 5 times that amount this month. How much money did Tegan earn this month? Draw a model to represent the problem, okay? So, we are going to draw last month and this month. Okay, and this is actually called a take diagram, and it looks just like it does up here when it's talking about Ryan and Ellen's pictures. Okay, so last month, $2. Okay, this month she earned 5 times that amount. So there's 1 time, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. $2 each. Okay. So there's a model that would represent our problem. Again, I would like you to cube it. Okay, box some keywords and the times. Okay. And evaluate, draw a picture. We've done that. We're going to write and solve an equation. And that actually comes right here. write an equation to solve this problem. So let's do an equation. We've got 10, so therefore she earns $10. Okay, so now we are going to look to this side. It says represent the problem with an equation. Okay, so it says Jenny found 16 seashells at the beach. This is 4 times the number of seashells Steve found. How many seashells did Steve find? Okay, remember we're going to cube it. We're going to circle our numbers. We're going to underline our question, box in keywords. What would be a keyword? Definitely thinks times. Okay, I think that would be. So you know that Jenny found a total of 16 seashells. Okay, that's something that it tells you. It tells you the larger portion. Okay, so it gives you a total of 16 shells. And if you read this, I'd like you to tell me what you know. Okay, you know that we're talking about Jenny. And you know that we're talking about Steve. And we're going to plug in what we know. We know that Jenny found 16. And this number is 4 times the number of shells Steve found. Okay, so we are looking to find how many shells that Steve found. We do not know. But we do know Jenny found more or less. We've got to figure that out. Okay, so 16 shells. This number is 4 times the number of seashells Steve found. Did Steve find more or less? Steve actually found less. So this is going to be less. Okay? And how many times less? It's going to be 4 times less. And when you do 4 times less, you are actually dividing. Okay? So 16 divided by 4 equals S, and S represents how many seashells that Steve found, okay? Therefore, 16 divided by 4 is 4. So Steve found 4 seashells, okay? You should be able to plug in that number, okay, and make sure that it works, okay? So Steve found 4 seashells, and Jenny found 4 times as many, and 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, Steve found 4 seashells. So we didn't use a model here, we just used an equation. Okay, we also showed what we knew and we plugged in cubes. We're going to look down here in the try it portion. It says Chantel watched TV for 45 minutes. Okay, again I'm going to cube it. This is 5 times as long as Ricardo watched TV. We're going to underline the question, how long did Ricardo watch TV? Okay, box and keywords. Definitely thinks times is a keyword here. Okay. And then we're going to evaluate. I just want you to analyze and think about what's going on here and tell me what you know before we start trying to solve. Okay. So we know that we're talking about Chantel and we know that we're talking about Ricardo. We're going to plug in what we know. Okay. We know that Chantel watched for 45 minutes. It clearly says that. This number is 5 times as long as Ricardo watched TV. How long did Ricardo watch TV? Again, that's not something we know. That's what we're looking for. But we are going to see if Chantel or Ricardo, who watched more TV. Let's reread this. This is, like it's saying 45 minutes is 5 times as long as Ricardo. That really sounds like that Chantel watched 5 times more TV than Ricardo did. Therefore, Ricardo watched less TV. How many times less? 5 times less, okay? And remember, when you're doing 5 times less, you are actually dividing, okay? So we're going to do 45 divided by 5. Therefore, we figure out that Ricardo has only watched TV for 9 minutes, okay? And again, you should be able to plug in your answer here. If you know Ricardo watched TV for 9 minutes and Shonda watched 5 times as many minutes as Ricardo, 9 times 5 is 45, so Chantel watched 45 minutes, okay? All right, let's look at number 4. Dylan read 45 pages in his library book this weekend. I'm going to cube it by circling in the numbers. This is 6 times the number of pages Landon read. How many pages did Landon read? Okay, so we're going to underline the question. We're looking for how many pages Landon read. We are going to box in keywords, step in times. And you know when you see times, you could be multiplying or dividing. So we've really got to pay attention here, okay? All right, so we're going to start by, figuring out what we know. We're going to do the evaluate, okay? So we're talking about Dylan here, and we're talking about Landon here. What do we know? We know that Dylan read 48 pages, for sure. It tells us that, okay? And then it says this number is 6 times the number of pages Landon read. We got to figure out if Landon read more or less pages, okay? It sounds like Landon read less pages, okay? How many pages less did he read? How many times? 6 times less pages. 6 times less. So if we're going to do 6 times less, we're going to do 48 divided by 6, okay? And hopefully you know that that is 8, okay? So it's telling me that Landon read 8 pages. And how we could check is if Landon read 8 pages, okay? And Dylan read 6 times that amount. 8 times 6 is 48, therefore Dylan read 48, okay? Alright, I hope this video was helpful. Make sure that you're cubing. Look at all the work within my page. You're really going to need to make sure that you're showing all your work. You're marking up your paper, okay? You are going to complete page 15. Let's see. You're going to complete page 15 in your Think Up book. It's the concept application, unit 2, page 15. I really want you to make sure you're marking up the book, you're pointing as you're reading, you're telling me what you know, you're analyzing, you're evaluating, and we will do a video next to go over